Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urius Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons and Dragons. And we're working on our AI dungeon. We need to make sure we're live. I got to get a couple of things first. Still here. We're untangling a cord. That is unfortunate. The cords get so super tangled. All right, there we go. All right, we're back. We are back. We got to make sure we're live here, which I'm sure we are, but okay, here we go. Are we live? That is a question that we need to answer. And I am sure that we are, but just in case. Okay, here we go. And are we live? But just in case. We are live. Okay, awesome. Great. Let me change this. Let me change this. And let's do some housekeeping stuff first. Fix my hair a little bit. And so we're going to continue with our march through these hexes. That's really what we're going to be focused on tonight, is the hex march and populating all these hexes. I want to get this whole area as complete as we can get it. And then this will become almost a mini campaign that the players can explore and search through, and it'll have encounters and all kinds of different stuff in it. And once it's prepped, there's almost no prep that has to go into it after that. You just pull it out and just run it, which is great. All right, let's see here. No, this is not going to work. That is not going to work. That's what I want right there. Okay. That is what I want. And that is okay. I think we are there now. There's a little bit of prep that I have to do before we get into it. Okay. I think we're going to get another commercial. What commercial is this? I'm looking at an iPad over to my right. Okay. There we go. All right. So we left off with Hex AC 12, and it was an ancient monument, blinding smoke. So one thing I do have to do here is we're going to open up a couple of books here. So one is going to be the Shadowdark book. Great book. You don't play Shadowdark, you should play Shadowdark. Awesome book. And we're gonna do this to height. There we go. Okay, and then the other one that I'm gonna open up is Chubby Funster's GM Companion. All right. So we've got those two things open. I think those are the only two things that I need for this. And they've got some random encounter tables in here. And that's how we came up with Ancient Monument Blinding Smoke. So we're going to go ahead and go into ChatGPT and ask it to describe Hex A12, Ancient Monument Blinding Smoke. So just in summary, so far, we've gotten AC4, the Tower of Sullied Waters. We've gotten AC9. Where is AC9 at? AC9 is a monster nest nestled in ruins. So we've gotten that one. The Ruin Nest of Varkal, and then the Tower of Sullied Waters. And now we're on Ancient Monument, Blinding Smoke. So we get a location, we get a place of interest, and then there's always a complication with the place of interest. And one of the interesting things that I'm going to do with this, once we've got all of these hexes populated, then I'm going to create a basically a random rumor table based off of all of these different encounters in all these hexes. And so there are places the player characters can go to figure out what those are. So we haven't put all of the settlements on here. I'm only going to put settlements on here if we randomly get it. Right now, the only settlement I have on here is Labyrinth, and that's kind of the capital of the area. So there might be a village on here or something, and maybe there's an inn or something in the village. We could roll that. Surely we will get one of those, but let's get into this one right here, which is that one. And let's go over to ChatGPT, and here we got, that's the, so I said Monster Nest. Here we go. In Hex AC9, a monster nest nestled in some, tell me about. Okay. In Hex AC12 is, what did we get in there again? We got Ancient Monument and some Blinding Smoke. So let's go to that. Is an Ancient Monument with Blinding Smoke. And what did I tell it to do? What was the tell me about it. That's it. Tell me about it. Go. All right, here it goes. What is it going to tell me? Wow, look at that. I swear to God that ChatGPT was definitely programmed by somebody who plays a lot of Dungeons and Dragons and a lot of role-playing games, because it doesn't really have to search through anything. It just immediately populates things. All right, so the Monument of Ashen Vale. Deep in a sunken grove at the base of a slate-colored hill stands the Monument of Ashen Vale, a towering angular structure of black stone so smooth it reflects no light. Cracked pillars surround it in a broken ring, their surfaces etched with glyphs long eroded, the meanings lost to time. The land is utterly silent, blah, blah, blah. What makes the monument truly dangerous is the perpetual column of thick, blinding smoke that pours from its apex into the sky like a wound in the world. Okay, it's not natural. It's heavily obscured. Tearing pain. There's a Constitution check, and magic within the smoke often fails. And it's ancient, predating the kingdom of Labyrinth. It is thought to be one of the 7 veil-bound markers. Okay, that's something new. Meant to bind something beneath or beyond the world. Scattered inscriptions refer to a being or force named Labyrinth, the smothering flame, possibly a fire god or a elemental intelligence that was sealed, not slain. The top of the monument is cracked, and some scholars believe the smoke is the first sign of the seal weakening. All right, let's get all that. So we got let's just copy all that. ChatGPT is really easy to copy out of, and we're going to put it right here. Okay? Easy peasy. Where did we go here? All right. And it is hex AC12. Done. All right, so let's go back. So we want to go to the bottom. And we want to go back to ChatGPT. Roll a D. I may go to a D8 instead. We got a 5. Okay. And the reason I'm going to go to a D8 instead is because we've got a lot of hexes on here. So we need to find something to put in there. And it's a hill with a monument. I've got something in here. I've got like a... Oh, that's not what I wanted. That is definitely not what I wanted. I wanted the stamp tool. Okay. And we've got something in here. I know that there's like standing stones or something around here. I may be in the wrong section. I might need to go into the 3D section here. The regionals. I think it's this one right here. I think it's called like a Loman or Glowman or something like that. Let's see here. Oh, I can look at it over here better. Let's make this bigger here. Okay, that's much better. That's much better. It's almost like this. It's in here somewheres. Let me do this. Stones. All right, that might get me where I want to be. We got this, which is not what I want. That's pretty cool. Structures. Runes, jungle tower. Oh, what am I know I have it in here. I've got it in one of my earlier maps. This is all cool jungle stuff and volcanoes. It might be under ruins. All right, let's try ruins. What is this called? This is called a mine, so we don't want that. And they call it a mine. Where were the ruins at again here? That's Jungle Temple. I just saw him. It's in here somewhere. Right there. Okay. What do we got? Oh, is that the only thing? Okay. We need to make this a lot smaller. So all right, there we go. And we'll put these right there. All right. And now we're going to go 13. There's nothing. So we're going to color that. And 14. Okay, so we go back to ChatGPT. Roll again. 6. So then we go to, oh, I keep wanting to move over there. And so that was 14. So now we go to 15. Roll again. 2, that's nothing. All right, well, maybe we won't get anything. Roll again. 4 is nothing. All right. I'm digging that. Well, I only want a couple of these, maybe. Not even a couple per line. 1. Okay, that's so about every 4 or 5. So I am going to go to a D8 then. So 17 is going to be something. So we're going to go to the point of interest on this map here. So random encounters. Modes of play, not the enemy. I think it's under here. Not something happened. Not. Here it is. Shop generator, no. Food, no. Tavern generator, no. Settlement maps, no. Points of interest. This is what we want. Okay. So we want a D20. Roll a D20. 11. Okay, what's 11 on our Shadowdark? It is a ravine. So we will write that in. Which hex is this, by the way? This is hex AC 17. So we'll write here AC 17 ravine, and there's a complication. So we'll roll another D20. Roll a D20. Oh, my nose is itching bad. We got a 17, which is a controlled by a malevolent sorcerer. So let's write that in there. Malevolent sorcerer. Okay. So now we go back over to ChatGPT, and in hex AC 17 is a ravine controlled by a malevolent sorcerer. Tell me about it. Done. Okay, let's see what it says. Absolutely. The Ravine of Black Vows. I'm telling you, ChatGPT comes up with some very cool stuff. So, let's see. Carved into the earth like a scar from the heavens, the Ravine of Black Vows splits the land with jagged edges and unnatural precision. It stretches nearly half a mile across. It deepens. Its depths filled with twisting stony spires and black roots. Strange lights flicker below at night, and thunder is often heard rumbling from beneath the ground, even on clear days. No birds fly over, no water runs through it. The earth is cracked and sick, with plant life growing, twisted and pale. Vale Routh, the severed flame. Once a court mage of Labyrinth, Vale Routh vanished decades ago. Study of soul binding and apocalyptic firecraft. It is said he burned his own name from the scrolls of magic to escape divine judgment. He now dwells within the ravine, having carved a floating sanctum in the cliffed walls from obsidian and basalt. Okay, seeks to unbind the last warding star, an astral force said to hold back the veil between the worlds. The hollow path, cracked altar. Okay, let's grab all this and stick it in, and then we're going to go to maybe a D10. Let's go to a D10. And that way we don't get as much here. So we want to put this in to our Word document. And there it is. Okay. And there we go. All right. So we got that. And we're going back to ChatGPT and our map. So we are on, so we're going to put a ravine now. Open catalog, and there might be let me see if there's a ravine in here. There is not a ravine. How about Fantasy World? Let's close this out and open catalog. Let's close that down. Ravine. Nope. Hole. Nope. It's got to be something. Pit. There's a pit. We could use that. All right, let's try this out. I'm going to do Fantasy Regional too. There's that. I like Fantasy World better. I like I like this pit. And we got a couple of... Okay, that's good. So if we zoom in on that, there it is. Okay. All right. And so we're gonna go to a D10 because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 encounters in this first column, and I don't want to get too many in there. So so we'll have to figure that we'll go to a D10 instead of a D6. So let's go back to ChatGPT, and we'll say roll a D10, and I'm looking for a 1 out of 10 to do an encounter. All right, we got a 7, so that's nothing. So we go back here, we get a little paintbrush out, and we go nothing. Now 19. Roll again. Okay. 3, that's nothing. So, all right. So now we're up to Now we're up to 2A. So we're on the second column. Roll again. Nothing. Okay. Paintbrush. Nothing there. I want to move this over. Okay. Roll again. Oh, there's a 1. Okay. There's a 1. So we've got hex 3, A3. I think we said A3. Is that how we're saying these? Hex A3. Okay, so we got hex A3. And what is in hex A3? So I'm going to go to the companion. And if we look at the terrain here, this is more or less grassland. So we're going to go with that. So he's got grasslands here, points of interest. So we go to a point of interest, and then it has a development, and then there's different things. So grasslands. So let's do a D20. Roll a D20. And we get an 18. So 18 is a barbarian camp. Barbarian camp. And they may not be evil. They may not be good. They may be neutral. They could be whatever. All right, what is the second thing? And we want to roll another D20. Roll a D20. A 9. What development is that? Pillaged by nomadic barbarians. So it's like rival, let's say rival, pillaged by a rival barbarian tribe. Okay. So, and we're going to say it's just a camp and it's empty and it's been pillaged. And, so that'll be a good place for, there's a rumor, there's warring barbarian tribes out there. And then maybe the players, people, in one of the towns or something saw the camp and they knew that they were there. They knew there was a rivalry in somewhere in the area where the encounter is going to be, and then the players go there to investigate, and they find this abandoned camp. Okay, so let's go to ChatGPT in hex A3. A3, yes, A3. In hex A3, a barbarian encampment. And what was the exact phrasing of this? It was barbarian camp was pillaged was pillaged by a rival barbarian tribe. Tell me about it. Go. And here it goes. Here's the description. The ravaged encampment of the Iron Fang clan. Nestled among the windswept ridges and dense pine groves, the Iron Fang clan's encampment once thrived as a fierce and proud bastion of barbarian culture constructed of large wood. Okay. Now, however, it lies in ruins. And there we are right there. Slain or missing. Surrounding terrain. Okay, let's get all that. Okay, very good. Hex A3. And we're going to put that into here. I'm going to go back up. And so this is not really going to have a... It'll give some lore for the area, but it's not going to necessarily have a encounter in it. So that's good. Okay, we got to put it on the map now. And I do have some pretty good stamps for this. All right, we want to get rid of that. And I thought there was... We're going to go with orc. There's some good orc stuff here. Orc structures, cities, villages, orc town. Yeah, let's use the town. But we need to make it a lot smaller. A lot smaller. Okay, there we go. All right. I'm going to go back to our paintbrush. And we're going to go back and we're going to roll another D10. Roll a D10. Nothing. Okay, good. So I want to kind of limit. So nothing there. Roll again. Nothing there. Roll again. Okay. Wow. Okay. So we've got another thing in 6 hex A6. So in our, so we know that this is hex A6. Hex A6. And let's go back to our friend Chubby Funster. So let's roll a D20. Roll a D20. 13. ChatGPT has no idea what I'm doing. Large sinkhole. Okay, let's put that in there. Large sinkhole. And what is the development? So we roll another D20. Roll a D20. 6. Okay. And what is 6? 6 is evidence of a recent wildfire. So maybe there was a small wooded area that was struck by lightning. It was dry. I could see the trees burning down, and the ground there was being held together by the trees, but now they're all gone, so it collapsed into a sinkhole. All right, so let's put that in here. What did we say here? We said evidence of a recent wildfire. Evidence of a recent wildfire. Okay? And let's see what ChatGPT has to say about that. It's going to give me some cool names. That's really what it's going to do. In hex A6, is it A6? Is that where we are? Yes, it's A6. In hex A6, a sinkhole has opened up after a recent wildfire. Tell me about it. Go. The scorched sinkhole of Varkosh. Of course, it has a name. The aftermath of a vast sinkhole, jagged and deep, now gapes. Plumes of smoke and sulfurous steam. Okay. Hidden danger below. Inhabitants, fire touch creatures, ember drakes, fire sprites. Exposes an ancient cavern entrance. And all right, let's take all that. And there we go. Okay. And we will drop it into our document here. So we are on page 25 of all of this right now. Okay, that's that. That's what I want right there. Let's move this over. Nope. Okay. I'm going to make this Word document a little bit bigger here so we can see it very well. Okay. We got all that, so I need to put a sinkhole, which is just another hole. So we had a ravine, and now we've got a hole with a cave right here. So I want to get rid of the orc one. Hole. Nope, there's no hole in Fantasy Regional. How about battle map? Nope. How about pit? They like pits. See, these are flat looking down. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of that. That's a pit, and there's probably only one of... No. That is a sinkhole. Okay. Let's put that there. There we go. Look at that. All right. All right, let's get back. So, roll a d10. 6, okay. That's nothing. Roll a d10. 3, that's nothing. Roll a d10. That's a 9. That's nothing. We're almost at the city. Roll a d10. That's 4. That's nothing. Okay. Roll a d10. Ah, there's a 1. Okay, are we getting... it's about the same frequency. All right, so this is going to be hex A11. Hex A11. All right, let's go back to Chubby Funster. And we want it to roll a d20. Roll a d20. 20. Okay, that's going to be something pretty major on this table here. Ancient city ruin. Okay, so on the map, we are right next to Labyrinth. So maybe these are ruins of an ancient prior version of Labyrinth. So let's put that in the document. Ancient city ruin, and then what is the development? So let's go back, and we're going to roll again. And is it rolling to d20? It did. It rolled an 8. And what is an 8? 8 is diseased corpses left out to rot. Okay. Ooh, that sounds... Diseased corpses rot. We're just going to call them rotting. Okay. So let's go to ChatGPT and tell it about that. In hex, what hex was this again? A11. Are we sure it's 11? It is 11. Okay. In hex A11, the ruins of a prior version of Dale Renth stand and are cursed with, what do we say? Diseased, rotting corpses. Okay. Disease, rotting corpses. Tell me about it. Let's go. ChatGPT. The rotting ruins of Old Dalerenth. Beneath the shadows of the current city lie the forgotten realms of Old Dalerenth. Amend so that Old Dalerenth lies about 6 miles southwest of the actual city of Dalerenth. Okay, here we go. The rotting ruins of Old Dalerenth. About 6 miles southwest of the bustling city of Dalerenth lie the forgotten remnants of Old Dalerenth. A once great city raised in a forgotten cataclysm centuries ago, these ruins stretched across a desolate expanse of cracked stone streets and toppled buildings swallowed by choking vines and blackened trees. The air is thick with stench of decay and a palpable aura of cursed despair. And that's it. Oh, and here we are. Okay. And then it goes through those. So let's go. So let's copy this. Let's copy that. And let's put that in our document. And then we're going to copy the rest of the stuff up here. All right, so we've got the curse. Ruins are haunted by plagued revenants and diseased spirits. Okay, it reconnected. That's good. All right, so we got that. We're done with that. And that is a ruined city. There's a lot of stuff in this. A lot of stuff. Okay, so we're going to put a ruined city. I'm going to move. I'm going to make this smaller, and I'm going to move this to right here. And then we're going to go to the stamp tool, and we're going to open the catalog, and we're going to put ruin. And let's see what we get. So we got, why did it give me a bridge? Houses, temples, structures, giant guard tower. Let's do that one. Oh, there's only, okay. Oh. No, I want to open the catalog back up. I want that one. That's what I want. Okay, and we want, yeah, I think we're going to take, but the reason I'm picking this one is it gives me a bunch of choices. So we're going to go ahead and put, and that needs to be made a lot bigger. All right, there we go. All right, so we got that. And we're on 12. Let's move this up here. A12. All right, A12. Let's see. A12. We want to go back over here. Roll a D10. D10. Don't roll a 1. 7. Okay. That's good. So that's a no. Roll again. 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 Oh, and we got a 1. It's doing this every like 5. How long is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we're going to have something right there. So A17. A17. And where is that on the map? Is this still... Yeah, we're still in Plains. We're going to be in Plains for a little while, so, okay. Roll a d20. Chat GPT. Roll a d20. See what we get here. 15. So what is a 15 on there? Burial mounds. Wow, we're getting some cool stuff. Burial mounds. And what is the development for burial rounds? So roll again. 2. What is a 2? A 2 is evidence of a livestock plague. All right. Let's put that in here. Evidence of livestock plague. So maybe somebody brought their flock too close to this place and it's cursed or something. Well, we'll see what ChatGPT gives us. So in Hex A17 are a collection of burial mounds in the area are recently dead and rotting livestock. Tell me about it. Go. Absolutely. The mounds of withering earth. Okay. In recent weeks, the ground around the mounds has become darkened, brittle, and sour smelling. Everything here is bad. Each mound is ringed with half-buried standing stones etched with fading runes in Proto-Daleric. The truth, okay. The truth, necrotic seep tied to a forgotten ritual has begun leaking from beneath the largest mound, perhaps tied to the Crimson Labyrinth's planar features. Okay, so let's grab all this. I wonder if it could draw me a map, but we're gonna put this in our Word document first. Okay. And I'm gonna go. I just want to see what happens here if I put in. Give me a short dungeon map. I don't think that it can draw. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it can. ChatGPT has a real problem drawing stuff. Okay, it's going to notify me when my image is ready, so we're just going to go on. Okay. So we got that there. So that is in 17, and it's burial mounds. So maybe we've got that. Let's put mound and see what happens here. Nope. Nope. Hills. Hill. Lots of these. Grave. Well, lots of this too. It's actual gravestones and stuff. I don't see any. Nope. Nope. Oh, this is one we want. We want that one right there. Okay. Yes. Oh, there's multiple ones. Okay. So we need to make these a lot smaller. And we'll go boom, 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 boom. Okay. All right, we got that. Now we're on to A18. Let's go back here. Let's see if ChatGPT is. It's not done. All right. Roll a D10. Oh, it's working, so we have to stop it to do this. And it's not going to do anything. What's the tools? Oh, create an image? No, we don't want that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think we're going to have to open. All right. It is going to make me wait for that. I cannot believe it's going to make me wait for that. Well, we did get disconnected. All right. We did get disconnected a little bit here. All right. Nope. And I can't hit the stop button. It's just not going to stop. How about forget it? All right, I think that short-circuited it. Okay. Roll a D10. That's what we want. Don't roll a 1. 6, okay. All right. Oh, keep going back to this. So we got our thing. That's a no. And we got, let's say we got 19. 19 will be the last one for this column here. Roll again. 2. That's nothing. That is a nothing. All right, so we're going back to the top. And now we're in B3. And that's a nothing. Okay. Nothing in B3. Roll again. That's nothing. And we're almost in like a river area. Roll again. Nothing. You've hit the free plan limit for ChatGPT 4. Responses will use another model until your limit resets after 11/9/20. So I guess we're back to ChatGPT. Roll a D10. Guess we're back to ChatGPT 3. Ah, I rolled a 1. Okay. All right, so we've got B6. Hex B6. What do we got in B6? So let's go back. Let's go back here. And she just has point of interest. So that's it. All right, so let's roll a D20. But she has some different things. And when I say she, I mean Kelsey Dion. Kelsey Dion's got some different stuff in there. So it's a 13. So what do we get for 13? Monster Nest. Okay. Monster Nest. And we don't know what kind of monster yet, but let's get the development. So we got to roll another d20 for that. Roll again. A 4. Okay. And that is being attacked by an invader. Does that make sense? Okay, maybe the monsters are the invader and they are attacking. So let's put that in. Monsters are invading a small, let's call this a small village and attacking. Okay. And then we'll go to ChatGPT here. So monsters are attacking a small village. Tell me about it. And hopefully it'll give me the name of the village and all that stuff. Bramblebrook. Under the moonless night, the quiet village of Bramblebrook lies nestled in a small valley surrounded by thick woods, rolling hills. Smoke curls gently from chimneys, and the villagers are winding down their day, unaware of the danger creeping closer. Fangtooth Knolls. Okay, that makes sense. Behind them follow shadow hounds. Okay. I like it. Oh, I didn't say in hex blah blah, but that's okay. Okay, let's just get it here. And it gives adventure hooks if I want to like actually make an adventure for this. So, and there we go. Okay, so hex B6, we're going to bold that. There we go, hex B6, attack on the village of Bramblebrook. And let's put that into the map as a village. Well, that's going to be up here close to the... So maybe there's like a major creek or something coming out of there. Village. No, there's plenty of villages. We got this village. All right, let's see. We got one choice. So we're going to put that there. All right. We are going to call this hex a lake and or water hex. But we go back, so we put that in there. So let's go back to this, and we'll go roll a d10. 7, so there's nothing there. Of course, on the most interesting part of the map, there's not going to be anything there. So that's a no. Roll again. That's a no. Roll again. That's a no. Roll again. That's a no. All right, and we're going to skip down to this one. So roll again. That's a no. So just south is a no. And okay. The paintbrush and roll again. And that's a no. And roll again. And that's a no. Okay, so maybe we'll go through the whole rest of this column without anything. Roll again. Nope, nothing. Roll again. Ah, there we are. There it is. Okay, so A16 or B16. Hex B16. So we went from, was that B6 to 16. So it was 10. Okay, so let's go. And the map says that this is It's not on the river. And it is like, it's in the hex next to it. So there's a hex here and here. These are grass. So it's still grasslands. So we'll use the grasslands from Chubby Funster. So let's roll a d20. Roll a d20. And let's see what it gets here. A 10. No, I want it. No, d20. Not a d10. Roll a d20. 16. Okay, that's what we want. All right, what do we get on a 16? Noble's Manor House. Okay. Noble's Manor House. And let's roll again. So maybe it's like a Noble's Hunting Lodge. We've got an 11. Site of dissident political meetings. Okay. Yes, site of dissident political meetings. So maybe they're plotting against the king. Okay. So we got site of dissident political meetings. Okay. All right. In hex B16 is a noble's estate, and it is the site of dissident political meetings. Tell me about it. Got it. Okay, here we go. The estate of House Velthorn. Let's see. Nestled amidst gentle rolling hills and surrounded by manicured gardens, the stately manor of House Velthorn stands as a beacon of wealth and influence. Tall arch window, yet beneath its polished surface, the estate conceals a dangerous secret. For months, the sprawling manor has become a meeting place for dissidents, nobles and commoners alike, who oppose the current regime's increasing tyranny. The estate's Lord Marquis Dallin Velthorn. Okay, let's copy all that. Potential risks. All right. And it may not be that there's tyranny, just may be that they are not liking things. Okay. And we're going to move that all the way over here. And we need to put that on the map. And let's see here. House. Let's see, we got that. Aha. Abandoned mansion. I don't want an abandoned. Oh, maybe we just do mansion. Okay, let's do mansion. Oh, yeah, there we go. There's only one cut. Well, we'll put that there. Okay. All right. I think that is where we are going to end our stream. We have been on here for about an hour now, so I think that's where we're going to end. And I am glad everybody showed up. Hope everybody enjoyed, and I will catch everybody in a week.